We'll go ahead and call the Ellis County Public Building Commission meeting to order. Donna, please note that all three board members are here. Any changes to the agenda, anyone?
No, sir.
None?
believe so.
Approval of prior minutes, May 14th.
I think they were okay as far as I know.
Stand approved as presented. No accounts payable, I guess?
Sir, there is one.
Oh, there is one.
Yeah, that,
This one that you just signed?
Oh, that one, yeah, that'd be good.
That middle one?
Yeah, blue one,
Yes, we
thank
have
you.
one account payable this evening. It is to Paul Wurtenberger Construction. It is in the amount of $27,450, and it is for materials that have been delivered to the
27.
work site.
450.
I will ask for a motion to approve or to
I
pay the
move we
bills.
approve the accounts payable to Paul Wurtenberger Construction in the amount of $27,450. Is that correct? Did I?
Correct. We have a
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bill to Paul Wurtenberger Construction. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Project managers report.
There is no project manager report this week.
Slacking.
Slacker,
tell you.
slacker, slacker.
Executive sessions none, I presume. We will adjourn at 5:03. Ready again? We'll go ahead and call the Ellis County Commission meeting to order. I'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Donna, please note that my fellow commissioners have not left the house. Any change in the order of business this evening?
I don't have any.
No, sir.
There will be one executive session added at the end. Prior minutes, May 14th. Any questions?
No.
None. Stand approved as presented. I will ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through G.
I move we approve the consent agenda items A through G as presented.
And I will second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Issues from persons not on the order of business this evening. Do we have anyone? Monthly departmental report. I got to start out by saying it was very thorough, Phil. Thank all of our department heads for their presentation. A lot of good information as always. Bill, did we have that many sign vandalisms again? On your report, there was quite a few
27.
back there.
27, I think.
Yeah, like how many, 25
27.
or 27?
I believe.
That would be,
I just put a question mark by that unless that was more than one.
No, Bill Ring, Public Works Director. The total $1,200.
27.
A lot of it's that time of the year where things are, it's not always stolen signs. It could be vandalized, whether it be shot or hit with a piece of farm equipment, run down.
There was just a lot of missing ones, so I'm assuming them ended up in someone's dorm room or somewhere maybe.
Yeah. There is quite a few missing, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's more missing than anything, but anyway.
But that number is down from last month, I believe. Wasn't there 30-some?
31, I think, last month. I just thought there was a lot again, so. But that was my only question. Everything else just looked normal. Ladies, questions on the report?
Not
just-
for him.
Oh, you have one for him? Oh. I noticed that there were 4 wastewater system permits received in the environmental office in April, and I just wondered how we can approve them. Since we've been stuck because of the opinion of one of our commissioners on septic systems. I'm not sure how we are able to do this. So,
I guess if Lisa was here, we could answer that. Or Phil maybe can answer that. Does it, are they new, they're new installations, right? On them 4 installs?
I believe you're referring to the environmental report.
Correct.
Those are
right.
approved by Environmental Sanitarian Karen Purvis.
Yes, instead of Lisa.
So
So even if there is ongoing litigation on septic systems, I guess it's just the one addition, the other ones are
ongoing
fine.
litigation concerns one specific
That's right. one specific
installation,
village.
not the entire county.
It's not how it sounded when she was on the stand. Hey, we can say anything we want to on the stand.
Any other questions on any other reports, Commissioner?
No,
Wilson?
thank you for the monthly departmental report. I appreciate that.
Any questions, Marcia?
The only thing that I was going to suggest, we have a newsletter from the environmental office, and it was very good. This is something new they've implemented. And in there, it tells about, for banks, abstractors, and realtors, to make sure that you're transferring property and to let them know. So that needs to be made aware of. Again, I know they have sent letters, they've had meetings, but people just kind of ignore that.
I believe the realtors, and maybe Commissioner Wassinger can answer that, but I believe the realtors now, when the property is transferred in the county, they have to do that before it is actually the deed, right? Before the deed is done, it has to be inspected, I think. I know one of the realtors told me they have to do that now before the abstract
Yep.
title companies will approve it.
It's really the banks and the realtors. When they get to us, we just require that it be taken care of since it's county statute.
Thank you. And thank you, Karen, for following up on that. Bill, whoever else oversees that. We will move on to our staffing changes in the treasurer's office, and we have our treasurer here this evening. So Lisa, if you would come forward, please.
Lisa Schlegel, Ellis County Treasurer. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I prepared a statement for today, so I'll read it, and then I will welcome questions that you have at the end. I come before you all today to present some staffing changes in the Treasury. I move that the Commission adopt the revised job descriptions, titles, and pay grades as presented, reclassify the position held by Casey Hammond to Treasury Operations Manager, and delete the classification of Motor Vehicle Tax Collection Coordinator, effective as of the pay period that began on May 20th, 2018. The proposed actions I'm proposing are part of an ongoing effort to achieve better cross-training in the treasurer's office. Although these changes have been under my consideration since before I officially took office, an opportunity has presented itself in the form of a staff resignation that allows me to seamlessly continue the changes that were made in cooperation with interim treasurer Josh Wassinger and approved by the commission last year. So what I've done is I've redesigned a realignment of workflows, and the proposed changes in the job descriptions support that realignment of workflows. Briefly, there are 4 requested changes that reflect the new cross-training program. These changes provide duplication of responsibilities among staff in the back office in the Treasury. Creation of duplication of responsibilities has been an issue in the Treasury that's been set aside in the past, and in my opinion, it must be dealt with as soon as possible for the best sake of the county. Overall, the changes will reduce the salary cost of the county by over $3,000 annually, and they include these 3 main things. Number 1, a change in responsibilities and an accompanying decrease in pay for the new accounting manager. Number 2, the creation of a new position that serves as a primary or secondary backup for all of the back office positions, and that's the Treasury Operations Manager position for Casey Hammond. And number 3 is minor changes to the wording of the job descriptions of the 2 lead positions in the office, except for myself, including the motor vehicle administrator and the tax administrator. Those changes reflect the new cross-training program and just add some specificity to the duties that both of those people already perform. So I come before you all today with not only an issue, but a solution. The solution will protect the county, its assets, its entities, and its future endeavors, all the while being cost-effective. So I thank you for your time listening to those specifics, and I'll now stand for questions if you have them.
Lisa, would you mind just grabbing that piece of paper I handed you? We could just walk through that together. Our county administrator
Yes.
kind of walked through that with me also on some of them when I handed it to him.
The first point you mentioned is the tax administrator, essential job functions, bullets 3 and 4. I don't remember what those are off the top of my head because I don't have it in front of me. Can you please read those and then I will address them?
Okay, right here, I can give you my copy too.
Okay, on point 3, we have the tax administrator functioning as the motor vehicle administrator when the treasury operations manager is performing the accounting manager's duties and in the absence of the motor vehicle administrator. So that is confusing, and I'm not surprised you would like explanation on that. We have within the treasury a certain backup's not the correct word, a certain separation of duties that provides a check so that the person performing motor vehicle functions cannot check their own work, so to speak, when they're functioning as the accounting manager. So in this instance, that's possible where the accounting manager is absent and the motor vehicle administrator is absent, if that were ever to occur. Then the treasury operations manager would perform those duties. Does that make more sense?
Give me a little more clarification, I guess. Now that you said that, I see what you're saying also, but I didn't understand it when I read it.
Well, that's natural. It's
And granted, I don't know 100% how your office works. That was one of the red flags I thought I seen.
Yes, and we took some time to very carefully consider all of the different possibilities of the 10 people in the office and when they could be gone and who would handle what, when that would occur, just to make sure that not only we're maintaining with the auditors, because I did speak to the auditors at Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball about this, that we're not only maintaining that clear separation of duties to maintain that protection so that no one is checking their own work, so to speak, but that also that we have duplicate cross-training so that when another, if something were to happen, if someone were to resign, if someone would be in an accident, we wouldn't be placed in a position that is not convenient for the county.
Okay.
Does that cover the first bullet question? Okay, so moving on to the second one. I've moved the Treasury Operations Manager from a range 110 to 112. So the Treasury Operations Manager is Casey Hammond. She was formerly the Motor Vehicle Administrator, and she also worked up front on the front line, primarily. She was only doing the administrative duties in the absence of Susanna Augustine, who is the Motor Vehicle Admin. So Casey is now taking on backup duties for the Accounting Manager, which is the new position that I'm advertising for hire, and she will be covering for the tax administrator because nobody also currently backs up those duties. So Casey has taken on basically the knowledge and execution of 3 of the main back office jobs, and that's quite a large responsibility and is going to take her quite a long time to learn all of those things. And also she will be designing with me nice job manuals for each of those positions, which is something other treasuries across the state do. And I think that's something we should have in our office because it's a great way to prepare for any kind of staffing changes, new treasurer, anything of that nature.
So will she be replaced on the front line then? Are you going to add a position or not?
The accounting manager that's going to be new will do some of the accounting manager duties, but those will be split with Casey, which is why that wage is lowered. And that person will work on the front line, which we did not have that before. Like our former accounting manager could not do frontline work. And that's something that was very inconvenient, especially during our high traffic times. She was not able to do that work, and wasn't willing to train for that. So the new one will do that, which is a little less intense than doing all of the accounting, and Casey will be backing up those duties and really kind of having them, like not having, but HALFING, like halving those duties. So it will be a little bit easier, and also it's a new position. It's not tenured as Whitney Motors was, so that wage reflects that. The decrease in the wage of the accounting manager reflects that. For point 3, the motor vehicle administrator position, those are not any additional duties. Those, Susanna, who is the motor vehicle administrator, wanted those duties to be outlined on the job description because she does them, but they were never outlined specifically. And she was concerned about that before I took office, and I said, we'll get it taken care of eventually, but it wasn't one of the top priorities, so I saved it for the time that we would do some more tweaking of job descriptions, and that time has come, so I made those changes.
So with my last sentence, you coming back in a couple of weeks, need more money for an additional duties, that's not going to happen?
That's not going to happen, no. And the certification that you addressed in point 4, that is a certification that the state provides training for annually for all motor vehicle administrators. So she put that on there as something that she did, but it's not something that you would ever come into a treasury having. Like, it's not a certification you could get from a college or anything of that nature. That's state training that's provided.
So she's been through all that?
Yes.
Okay.
And she does very well at that, so.
Okay.
But it could have been in another treasurer's office
That's true.
True.
That is true, Marcy.
if they were
Yeah, what,
applying from another treasurer's office, they could have had that state certification.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, ladies, that was my 4. You have questions?
no, I went over these with Phil beforehand, and I appreciate you going through, Phil, since he is our HR
Yes, and I appreciate Phil
our
going over
director.
them with you.
Yes, so on,
Thank you for doing that.
I appreciate the transparency
Thanks.
as well.
Thanks.
Marcy,
I like
questions?
seeing you here a little bit more often.
Okay.
So how many people do you actually have in the treasurer's office?
10, including myself.
Okay. That's with the new person you're going to hire.
We will have 11 with the new person.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry, we will have 10.
10,
I'm
that's what I
sorry.
was thinking.
Yes,
10.
You'll have 10 with the new
I
person?
misspoke. The 10, currently we have 9, we will have 10. We had 10 last week, but now we have 9.
Okay. Okay. So that you will have 3 windows open then at all times.
That's my goal. I would actually like 4 windows open. That's been my goal since before I started, and we're working with that. But the problem is now is that Casey's been in the back training, so I'm having some of the back ladies step up front during that, and they're doing a very good job.
So, okay.
With
Well,
that,
as
so.
long as you can handle the
I'd like to have 4.
people incoming.
Yeah.
That would be good.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, also, I just want to tell you, when you came up and you said, I move that you approve these, I thought, oh, did you get voting privileges tonight? So I think we have to,
We have the proper terminology, or
I propose you.
I propose you. Okay. I will note that for
You can,
next
yeah,
time.
you can, I don't think you can move in this meeting. You might be able to do it in your meetings, so.
No. All right. Thank you, all of you, for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
I move we adopt the revised job descriptions, titles, and pay grades as presented and reclassify the position held by Casey Hammond to Treasury Operations Manager and delete the classification of Motor Vehicle Tax Collection Coordinator effective as of the pay period, May 20th of 2018.
We have a
And I will
motion.
second that one.
And we have a second. Donna? No further discussion, ladies? No? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
And again, thank you, Phil.
Yep, thank you for, Lisa, working with Phil, and after that, thank you, also, Phil, for helping out with that.
Yes.
We'll move on to the Economic Development Funding for Northwest Business Corridor Improvements. County Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. County Administrator Philip Smith Haynes. So the request this evening is to allow me to utilize the funding that was previously designated in the 2018 adopted budget to go towards the Ellis County Coalition on Economic Development to instead procure some professional services in support of business corridor improvements in the area northwest of the city of Hayes. Your commission is aware that we have a number of businesses northwest of the city and north of I-70 along the areas of 230th Avenue, Fairground Road, or 55th Street as it's known in the city, and Feedlot Road. We've had a lot of development up in that area with Midwest Energy. The Celebration Community Church has services, Portal Ranch Feeders, and other businesses. And so we have been investigating transportation improvements in that area for more than 5 years. Experienced a little inability to move that project forward during the oil downturn, but we are looking at reinvigorating that. As a first step in doing that, we need to hire a number of technical professionals, including a engineer to update some cost estimates that are now about 5 or 6 years old, a consultant to help us through the Byzantine processes at KDOT for potential funding, and also potentially bond counsel to work on county funding options. So in speaking with folks, including folks from the Coalition for Economic Development, since they are not doing public funding this year, they thought, well, you know, that there's some money you already have in your budget that would be a good place to get that. So just seeking the commission's blessing to go forth and make those things happen.
You certainly have mine. We all know how much this needs to get worked on, so this is perfect.
We need that.
I know, Phil, you didn't ask for a motion, but can I ask for a motion from Commissioner Wassinger so it's on public record?
You're certainly always free to ask for a motion.
I would like Commissioner Wassinger to make a motion, being she said she's in favor first.
What is the total we have? I always say it wrong. 47.5?
No,
It's
23,775.
well, the total we have is
Oh,
47,550. I was just asking for the 23,775
to
for
have
tonight. But
Sort that out. That would be fine.
I move that we repurpose the $23,775 from our economic development funds towards procuring professional services in support of businesses in the corridor improvements in the area northwest of the city of Hayes.
Thank
And
you.
I will second that motion.
Donna, we have a motion and a second. No further discussion?
I don't know if anyone in the audience wanted to come up and make a comment.
Well, Bill, would you like to
Doug?
make a comment to that, or
Doug's
anyone
back
else?
there. Doug Williams, maybe?
I don't know, Doug. Doug, would you like to come up and make a comment towards that?
You don't have to.
No.
We're not forcing you. But since you made it to our meeting, I thought you might.
No, I think anything we can do to encourage development in that part of the county is definitely something we need to be working on. And
Doug, would you tell the news media who you are, read your
I'm
update,
sorry.
please?
I'm Doug Williams, local real estate broker with Real Estate. And again, I just feel that anything we can do to help those businesses out there that are attempting to grow and
Exactly.
improve the roads out there so they can employ more people and do more business is absolutely in our best interest.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for coming.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Phil. We'll move on to the illustrious county council report.
He's here, as always. Bill Jeter, County Council. Just a quick update on 2018 tax foreclosure sale. The Treasurer's Office has mailed to 36 property owners whose taxes are delinquent, giving them till July 2nd. And if payment's not received, then we're going to regroup and fine-tune the list that we have, and then I'll be back in front of the county commissioners for a resolution to be adopted to proceed with the tax foreclosure sale. And I will keep you updated.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying on top of this. I appreciate it.
County Administrator report.
County Administrator Philip Smith Haynes, I have nothing to report this evening.
All right. County Commission reports. Who would like to go first? Marcy?
No, Barbara's.
No, I'm
second.
fine.
I only had Linda Beach's reception that she retired, or will retire May the 31st. That's all I had this last week.
Anything for
Pretty
you?
much the same, so.
Not too much either. I guess we all were present in court, including our county administrator last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day that was. So Wednesday, I guess. So that's all I have to report.
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
the 15th.
That's right. Must do. Next, we'll move to executive sessions. We have one this evening, I believe.
I move the commission recess into executive session along with Philip Smith Haynes and Bill Jeter to discuss individual employees' rate of pay pursuant to the Open Meetings Act exception for personnel matters of non-elected personnel, KSC 75-4319B1. With the open session to resume, this will be for 10 minutes, with the open session to resume at 5:40.
We have a motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. No action was taken, Donna. Anything else to come before the commission this evening?
I don't think so.
Seeing none, we will adjourn at 5:41. Thank you all for being here this evening.
Where is?